we go to the introduction of our guest speaker. Every time we have our general monthly meeting, we make it a habit to invite speakers to provide us updates on real estate market trends and other information that is of relevance to us brokers. Today, we have a guest speaker from Pag-IBIG Fund. We would like everyone to please observe during the presentation of the speaker, and we would like to uh, advise our fellow CRBs to write their questions in the chat box so that we can request our speaker to give us the information we require after the speech. To introduce our guest speaker for today's event, may we call on our very um, energetic and very lively BP internal, CRV Lorenzo Ballete III. CRB 30, please do the honors.
Thank you, CRB Edgar. Our speaker is known to me since 2009 when I was assigned as the resident ombudsman for Pag-IBIG Fund nationwide. Our speaker is my bet to be the next president and CEO for Pag-IBIG Fund. Not only because he rose from the ranks, but also he has vast knowledge on all the affairs of Pag-IBIG Fund, from savings to multipurpose loans to development account to developer's account to developmental loans to retail account, billing, acquired assets, administrative to marketing and business development. He is a person of integrity, epitome of excellence, and with magnificent knowledge management skills. He started his stint in Pag-IBIG Fund as an officer in charge in Pagadian City Sub-Regional Office from 2001 to 2006, Department Manager 3 in Cagayan de Oro City, where we first met in Cagayan de Oro City branch from 2006 to 2010, Vice President for Northern Mindanao Group from March 10 to 2010 to August 2012, Vice President for whole Mindanao or the North and Southern Mindanao Group from August 2012 to 2014, and Vice President for the Visayas and Mindanao Home Lending Operations Group from February 2014 to 2017 of March, and of course, OIC and concurrent Vice President for Loans Operation Sector Visayas Mindanao Group from March 2017 to December 2017. And of course, Senior Vice President of Loans Operation Sector from 2017 of December and April to April 2018. And now he is the most senior of all the senior vice presidents of Pag-IBIG Fund. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce to you Senior Vice President for Business Development Sector of Pag-IBIG Fund, SVP FERMIN Santa Teresa Jr.
Thank you very much, Tert, for that very wonderful introduction. But wala na akong balak, Tert, as you mentioned, to be the president. Magre-retire na po ako, Tert. Anyway, foremost, I would like to thank the REB for inviting us this afternoon. And in behalf of Sir Agmat, I am happy to be with you this afternoon to share with you some inputs, especially fund updates, to include the opportunities, the Pag-IBIG Fund acquired assets opportunities for our real estate brokers. And allow me to start first with a very brief presentation in as far as our Pag-IBIG program is concerned. Okay, I'll try to ask Felix. I'll try to ask Felix to share. Sandali po. Kasi I'm just using an iPhone for this and nasa kabila yung laptop ko. Sandali Felix, pwede ka mag-join YouTube? Yes. Sorry po. So while waiting ka, naka-echo, no? Hello, okay. So we will try to share our PowerPoint presentation with you, but while waiting, let me just start by sharing this fun update with you. And we are happy to inform you that as of today, we already have a total of 14.69 million members. Although we experienced a drop during the 20 when we started experiencing the 2020 crisis as a result of the massive unemployment crisis we experienced in the country. But despite that, we are still happy to share with you that we were able to collect substantial amount as far as membership savings is concerned. And in fact, for 2019 and the 2020, part of 2020, we were able to generate substantial income for Pag-IBIG, giving us a total asset of 603 billion. This is as of actually December 2029. And we were able to declare a total of 31.07 billion dividends out of the 34.37 billion net income we have. And what is the implication of this? This dividend earnings is proportionately distributed to the 14.69 million members we have nationwide. And because of this, malaki po yung impact in as far as our membership program is concerned, because the members can get substantial amount when they will be applying for withdrawal of their membership. So for I mentioned earlier about the drop of membership. It used to be 14.69 million in 2019. As of November rather of 2020, there was a drop in the membership level. And Felix, second slide, please. Next slide, Felix. And for as of November 2020, our active member is down to 12.66 million members. And the asset of Pag-IBIG is already at 657.96 billion. So itong asset na to, multi-million corporation, is not owned by the government. This is only owned by the 12.66 million members we have all throughout the country. And despite the pandemic, we are also happy to inform you that we were able to declare a gross income of 40.83 billion and the net income of 27.23 billion. And again, this net income will be translated again to the distribution of the dividend earnings to our members. Next slide, please, Felix. And despite the pandemic, we are happy to inform you also that we were able to extend programs that are beneficial to the members. First and foremost, the Bayanihan law, this is under the RA 11469, we were able to extend the benefits to 4.77 million loan borrowers. In terms of short-term borrowers at 4,061,000 and housing loan borrowers 713,225. And when we implemented again the Bayanihan 2 under the same Republic Act, for short-term loan borrowers, we were able to extend it to a total of 2.988 million members, and for housing borrowers, equivalent to 200 to 632. Next slide, please, Felix. Also, we were able to give this moratorium to our housing borrowers. What is this moratorium all about as compared to the first program that we implemented? In the first program, we simply freeze the payment of amortization, wherein the borrowers will be continue paying their amortization on the fourth month. But for this moratorium, we will no longer collect the borrowers the 3 months unpaid amortization during the moratorium period, but rather they will pay this after the end term of their loan. So, ibig sabihin po, kung ang isang miyembro ay mag-mature yung loan niya on December this year, and the 3 months unpaid amortization during the moratorium will be paid January, February, and March of the following year. And out of these 320, 406 beneficiaries were granted this 3 months moratorium, equivalent to 177,056 short-term loan borrowers and 143,350 housing borrowers. Next slide, please. We would also like to highlight this accomplishment of Pag-IBIG. Despite the pandemic, while there was a drop from our 2019 accomplishment, as shown in the screen, despite the difficulties that we encountered, we were able to take out a total of 63,380 housing units or housing borrowers, equivalent to 63.76 billion. Although there was a drop of close to 30% from our 2019 accomplishment of amounting to 86.74 billion, but we also would like to share with you that towards the end of the year, last year, we were able to take out loan amounting to 12 billion in terms of loan value, which is even much higher than our December 2019 takeout, which simply means that despite the pandemic, we were able to do the best effort to accommodate the housing needs of our borrowers. Next slide, please. We also were able to grant this special housing loan restructuring program. This is very important to give all borrowers the chances not only to update their housing loan amortization, especially those arrearages, but also a chance to lowering the monthly payment, and at the same time to waive all the penalties of unpaid dues. Ito po, we wanted to inform you that under this special loan restructuring program, the resumption of payment anytime until March 2021 will allow the members at least to recover what was lost, especially the financial difficulties that they encountered during the pandemic. And 77,245 members were able to benefit this program. Next slide, please. To ensure that our partner developers can continue the construction of houses, specifically the low-cost housing program, and to serve as bridge financing facility for the developers to boost the business and support the supplies and prevent layoffs, especially yung mga workers ng ating mga developers. We also offered a facility to assist our developers, and we set aside 10 billion for a house construction financing line that will be granted to all our accredited developers who will qualify the basic requirement. As I said, this is the contribution of Pag-IBIG Fund towards the economic recovery of the national government, particularly in the shelter industry. And because of this, many of the developers were able to retain their workers and produce more houses for our members. In fact, we were able to approve 31 projects under this program initially, which is amounting to 2.15 billion, and more applications are coming. Now, this program is still open, and we give assurance to our developers that we will continue to implement this for as long as the crisis is still felt in our country. Next slide, please. While the banks and other financial institutions suspended their lending programs, Pag-IBIG Fund implemented the other way around. Just to encourage our members or to help our members secure their homes amid the pandemics under a most affordable term, we implemented the housing interest rate promo for the period July to December of last year, wherein the interest rate under a 1-year repricing amount equivalent to 5.375% per annum was reduced to 4.985% per annum. And under a 3-year, the 3-year repricing, the 6.375% per annum was reduced to 5.375% per annum. And since there are still so many borrowers who applied during that period, July to December, and the developer failed, these developers failed to deliver these applications to us for processing. Just yesterday, I presented to the Board Governance Committee and it was approved for the extension of coverage of this promo rates to the more than 12,000 housing borrowers whose applications were already filed with our developers until the last day, working day of December last year. And because of that approval, these members will also benefit in the lower interest rate since they will be covered under this promo. And as I said, we intentionally implement this to help our borrowers, not only to encourage them, but to give them the opportunity to avail of a housing with a much lower amortization. Next slide, please. And under the promo rate, a total of 33,002 borrowers were able to avail of this program amounting to 37.46 billion. Next slide, please. Then, as part of our online services, just to minimize the risk of our members in coming to our office, filing their applications, we were able to fully implement our online services to our Pag-IBIG Fund members, especially the availment of our loan facilities such as the multipurpose loan program. And this will allow the members to file their application online. And this is still part of the services that we are fully implementing today. And next slide, please. And based on the implementation that we started for the period March 17 to January 8 this year, we were able to accommodate a total of 1.228 699 million borrowers, and we were able to grant a loan amounting to 25.15 billion. Next slide, please. And let me now go to the opportunities that we can offer to our real estate brokers. If you would note in the past, we were able to implement a program wherein we are accrediting brokers to help us dispose our acquired asset. But we regret to inform you that we were compelled to suspend the program in the meantime due to some concerns that we are trying to address specifically on the delays in the processing of applications of our members as a result of this arrangement. And until now, this is still suspended. However, let me share with you other opportunities that our brokers can engage with us, especially in the disposition of our acquired assets. And mamaya, I will show you the slides, how many and how much of acquired assets are we talking about. Foremost, for you as an individual buyer or pwede magnegosyo sa Pag-IBIG, under our disposal policy for the second auction or a negotiated disposal, the negotiated sale through retail disposal, we are giving a discount at a maximum of 30%. In other words, if you buy property from Pag-IBIG amounting to 1 million, based on appraised value, you will only pay 700,000 pesos to Pag-IBIG Fund. You refurbish the properties, you find buyers, you sell it back. You are already assured a financing of 1 million based on our appraisal. In other words, by paying at 700,000 and introducing some improvement, probably a 30% cost on improvement, you still stand to gain a substantial amount, because most of our buyers now who are buying this acquired asset at 30% discount are selling this back again to our Pag-IBIG Fund members. And it will be Pag-IBIG who will pay you in cash your selling price. We will not regulate the selling price for as long as that is within the capacity of your buyer or within the appraised value or loan to value ratio in availing of loan, then we will pay it that much. Another program that we have, next slide please, is buying our acquired asset through bulk sale or group sale. This bulk sale, we give as much as 45% discount. What do we mean by bulk sale? This is buying property by lot, 20 or 10 or more properties. Once you reach the amount of 10 million, next slide please, up to 50 million under our bulk sale or group sale program, you will you will be granted a 40% discount. Now, in this process, we allow cherry picking. In other words, you can select properties all throughout the country. Once property of halimbawa, dalawa or tatlo or 10 property that would reach 10 million, you will only pay 6 million net of the discount to Pag-IBIG Fund. And the same process, you sell it back after refurbishing, you sell it back to our members, then you can sell it to our members through the Pag-IBIG Expanded Housing Loan Program, as I mentioned earlier. Now, probably some of you are hesitant to think that these properties are occupied and you will be encountering problems in ejecting the present occupants of the properties. And in the list of the acquired asset that I will share with you this afternoon, marami po ang mga properties natin, including lots only or house and lot na unoccupied. And most of our bulk sale buyers are concentrating on these properties because it's very easy for them to buy it, refurbish, and sell it back to our members. So, if you avail of a loan of over 50 million up to 100 million, you will get a maximum discount of 42%, or over 100 million, you will get the maximum discount of 45%. Next slide, please. Now, other order of retail disposal. How do we sell our acquired assets? And I'm sharing you this so that the brokers may come in and help your potential clients. You can still assist on your own the potential buyers of these acquired assets that we have. And it is also but important that you will know the order of disposal policy that we have. To start, we are doing a direct purchase offer. This is intended to the person who is occupying the property, whether he is the owner or second or third party occupant. For as long as he is staying in the property, he will be given the first preference. We will issue him a notice to intend to purchase, and we will be giving him a certain number of days to signify his intention. Otherwise, if he will not signify his intention to acquire this property, then we will proceed to the first auction sale. Under the first auction sale, the unoccupied units and unsold units from direct purchase, at first po, wala pong discount, and at offered price, this will be based on the appraised value. Unlike in the past, we sell properties based on the book value. inclusive of the penalties and other charges, kaya napakamahal po. But today, under our current disposal policy, we simply sell the properties based on the current appraised value. If that is already deteriorated, then we are giving the value of the house based on the deteriorated appraisal. Then once there will be a first public failure, we will proceed to the second auction for all unsold units during the first auction. Ito po ay with corresponding discount na at offered price. Depende na po sa amount, a maximum of 30%, as I said earlier. Then after engaging the two public auctions, kung hindi pa again nabenta yung properties, we will now proceed with the negotiated sale. This negotiated sale will also be with a substantial discount, as much as 30% as mentioned earlier. And properties eligible for bulk sale and group sale should now fall under this negotiated sale. So yung option that I've mentioned kanina will only be open during the negotiated sale. Next slide, please. Then look at this disposal accomplishment that we implemented in the past and up to the current year. We were able to dispose a total of 94,763 properties, so amounting to 47.29 billion. And 2020, despite the crisis, marami pa rin po buyers, 13,909 buyers, amounting to 8.5 billion in asset disposal. This year, we are again targeting 11 billion. Next slide, please. And I would like to show this inventories natin of acquired assets as of December 31, 2020. In National Capital Region, we have a total of 30,953 accounts valued at 24.69 billion. In Luzon, we have 16,235 accounts valued at 11.3 billion. And in Mindanao, 9,473 accounts valued at 6.7 billion, for a total of 39.73 billion. And out of this, we are targeting at least a disposal of 11 billion. Next slide, please. Now, this is the status of the properties. Earlier, I mentioned the problem on properties that are occupied. While it's substantial in number, if you look at the screen, it's 33,339. But on the other hand, mayroon naman tayong 21,230 properties that are unoccupied. And most of these are lot sales only. So mas easy to dispose po kung lupa lang, because these are mostly located in subdivisions that we have, and we have no longer concern in as far as the amenities, road network, license to sell, development permit, and other requirements in disposing these properties, because these are acquired assets that we foreclose or we cancel the CTS of delinquent borrowers who purchase the properties from our accredited developers. Next slide, please. And our inventory, this is no longer very important to you. Next slide, please. So yun po, ito yung presentation namin, and we will flash yung contact number namin for the Pag-IBIG personnel or officers that you intend to get in touch to get the details on how to engage with us, specifically in the disposal of this program under those disposal policies that I've mentioned. And for the details of the properties, you can also access sa portal ng Pag-IBIG Fund, www.pagibigfund.gov.ph. There's a menu there, Property Finder. And if you click that menu, there is this space for location and status. Anywhere in the Philippines, you just simply type the place where you prepare to scout for potential transaction with us. It's available po. And you can also contact our acquired asset group based here in the jail. We are located at Shaw Boulevard here in Mandaluyong. And si BP Chito Enciso is the Vice President handling the acquired asset disposal. Just feel free to get in touch with us. And probably you will be surprised as Pag-IBIG Fund members why that much ang acquired asset ng Pag-IBIG Fund. This is actually just 5% of the total housing portfolio that we are maintaining, and these are considered the bad accounts, and 95% are still good accounts that we have. And because of the medyo viable yung housing program natin, we can ensure our Pag-IBIG Fund members in as far as sustainability of Pag-IBIG program is concerned. Do not be alarmed with that bulk number that you have seen in the slides that we presented. That's just around 5% of the total assets Pag-IBIG Fund, the housing-related assets Pag-IBIG Fund is maintaining. And we are also very happy and proud to inform you that as of now, we can maintain a performing loans ratio as high as 92 to 95%. In other words, we have so many buyers who are paying members, and it's also the obligation of our Pag-IBIG Fund, especially the housing, to ensure that this investment in housing are fully protected, because this is not our money, but the money of our members. And the rest be assured that because of the very viable Pag-IBIG Fund program that we have, we can ensure our general public, especially our fund members, that we can continue implementing the housing programs that we have. And in fact, this year, we are looking at 100 billion again for financing that would benefit around 100,000 housing borrowers all throughout the country. Then lastly, nakalimutan ata yung slides on the membership. I wanted to share this with you. Napakagandang savings program ni Pag-IBIG Fund. Instead of saving with the banks, commercial banks, meron po tayong MP2 program sa Pag-IBIG, where the maximum dividend that we declared was 8.7 something percent. It's not lower. The dividend declaration is much higher than the bank. I recall it right. The lowest dividend declared was 6.5 something. At ang maganda dito, because you can deposit one time, minimum of 500, walang maximum. We have so many members who are depositing millions. In fact, we were able to collect last year more than 10 billion in savings. And the good thing with this is government guaranteed, regardless of the amount. Unlike our savings with the bank, PDIC maximum guarantee is only at makano ba ngayon? Hindi lang ako certain. And most importantly, this is tax-free. Unlike yung time deposit natin sa bangko, if you deposit, once we withdraw, may share po si BIR. Dito sa MP2 program natin, wala. This is tax-free, this is government guaranteed, and the maturity is 5 years. So if you want to deposit with us, get your time deposit with any commercial bank, you can deposit it to Pag-IBIG anytime. Madali po, one time, or you can pay it monthly, you can pay it quarterly, at your option based on your convenience. So with that, thank you very much again for giving us this opportunity to share with you our programs. And we look forward that with the under our disposal policies, we can engage our real estate brokers in disposing our acquired assets, because it's really but important for all of us sa Pag-IBIG to intensify our disposal in program, just to make sure that we can generate more funds to continue our home lending program that will benefit our more than 12 million members we have all throughout the country. So again, thank you very much po and good afternoon.
Okay, thank you, sir, Mr. Fermin. Um, guys, do you have any questions? Siguro it's much better to have it type na lang muna sa chat box natin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sir, Mr.
I
Fermin,
can
are you able to access the chat box po? Will you be able to read the
uh
questions
we
po?
can we
Or
can
I can
po.
read it
We
aloud to
can
you na
we can.
lang po.
Yeah, please do, sir.
Okay. Any questions po? Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I would like to acknowledge our President Binabiche, REBAP National President
Thank you.
Ms. Binabiche
Thank
po.
you, CRB Edgar. Now, my question for SVP Jong.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, before kasi, parang way back 10 years ago, I think, or less, uh, REBAP is an exclusive accredited brokers in Pag-IBIG.
Yes.
And then, parang they always conduct PKS to our members upon accreditation. Nawala kasi yun eh. And we in the national board wanted to, again, to be, and that REBAP members will be given a seminar to be accredited with Pag-IBIG.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Magandang proposal po, but as I mentioned earlier, we temporarily suspended the engagement of brokers in the disposal of our acquired asset because of, I have to be honest with you, nakaroon po kami ng problema especially on the documentation compliance, because under the agreement, it's the brokers who should facilitate the compliance of requirements, to facilitate the takeout of the loan ng mga miyembro, because most of our buyers are buying it through availing of our loan facility. So nakaroon po ng problema. That's why we are trying to modify the program now.
Okay.
And hopefully, once this will be modified, we will resume. Personally, I would like this resume because malaking tulong po yung mga real estate brokers in helping us dispose this property. But ganon pa man, ma'am, any real estate broker for that matter can engage with us to be probably a middleman with proposed buyers. Even po yung sa group sale, if you notice kanina I mentioned about group sale, even kayo, you can group yourselves as members of the association, and once you complete the transaction of 10 million, kahit limang property, abot na ng 10 million, we can already register you under the group sale program. So entitled na po kayo ng 40% discount. So ganon rin po, yung ibang brokers off the record, they are engaging with buyers, bulk sale buyers, sila naging middleman kung ano man yung arrangement nila with the buyer, especially in the gain of the resale of the property. Sa kanila na po, silent na lang doon si Pag-IBIG. But ang role ni buyer, ni broker, is to facilitate the transaction of the buyer, especially those mga negosyante na masyadong busy who cannot come to Pag-IBIG and engage with us. So they normally do it through a representative, a broker to that effect. Unfortunately, ma'am, as we said, wala tayong formal agreement to that effect, but we will not also stop any businessman or any individual who would like to engage the services of a broker in buying and selling acquired assets of Pag-IBIG Fund. So meron nga kami, just to show you an example, ma'am, our collection agent. He is buying acquired asset sa Pag-IBIG and he sell it back through his broker to our Pag-IBIG Fund members. And in fact, he was telling me he is earning more than his collection firm in buying and selling acquired assets of Pag-IBIG Fund. Because as we said, he is assured of a cash payment, especially if the buyer opted a Pag-IBIG loan. Kasi kami pa rin magbayad sa inyo through your partner in this kind of transaction po.
Can I make a follow-up question?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead po.
Yeah. As you said, you entertain any middleman to sell your acquired asset. Do you require those middlemen to be a licensed real estate sellers?
In as far as kami is concerned, ma'am, since we do not engage directly, as I said kanina off the record, normally po, it's the buyers who is engaging the services. So nasa kanya na po. But kung sa amin, lalo na yung accreditation requirement sa una, it's a must that he is a licensed broker po.
Thank you.
We will not entertain kung wala siyang license. Otherwise, we are violating the PRC requirement po.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's all, Alan. Edgar, sorry.
Yeah, thank you, Ma'am Binabiche. Sir Fermin, there's a question in here. What are the
Yeah.
requirements for refinancing daw po?
Refinancing, if you have a loan with the bank, ang basic requirement lang is the account should be updated, current for the last 12 months, and the member has the capacity to pay because we always granted the loan based on the appraised value of the property or the loan entitlement based on capacity to pay or the actual need based on the outstanding loan balance. Now take note, if you want to refinance a loan with a commercial bank to Pag-IBIG, we allow you to avail of additional loan for home improvement. So refinancing plus home improvement. Pwede po yun for as long as that is within your capacity to pay requirement po. And ang maganda because we can extend the loan up to a maximum term of 30 years. And the member can pre-terminate the loan. Once he will opt to do that, we only collect the principal outstanding balance. We will not collect any unearned interest, just like what commercial banks are doing. So principal balance lang po. If you avail of a loan today of 1 million, then the following year, may outstanding balance ka of 900,000, you fully pay, you simply pay as the 900,000. Ganon ka basic po yung requirement.
Okay, thank you, sir, Mr. Fermin. Sir, there's another question in here, although you have made mention it a while ago. Who is the contact person for acquired assets po natin? I do believe this is in Jelp Building sa Mandaluyong.
We will provide kay Third. Third is a good friend here. I will text him the contact number. Si Third na bahala mag-distribute po. Yung aming mga contact persons, officers at that, where you can engage, especially in availing of our acquired assets. Si Third is not new sa Pag-IBIG kasi dati po, when he was with Ombudsman, his office is here sa jail. Kaya namimiss na namin tong si Third. Sige po.
Okay, so more questions. Okay. So far we have, yeah, I think everything has already been answered. So wala na po tayong questions. Okay, before we let you depart, sir, Mr. Fermin, we would like to acknowledge your presence and as a token of appreciation, REBAP Global City Chapter would like to award a certificate for appreciation, sir. May I call on our chapter secretary, Mr. Neo Arminia, to please do the awarding of the certificate to Senior Vice President, Mr. Fermin Teresa po.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Certificate of Appreciation is awarded to Mr. Fermin A. Santa Teresa Jr. in grateful appreciation as resource speaker in the second general membership meeting of REBAP Global City with topic Pag-IBIG Fund Acquired Assets Opportunities for Real Estate Broker. Given this 18th day of February 2021 at REBAP Global City Virtual Office in Bonifacio Global City, Taguig. Signed by President Limuel Pagliorina and yours truly, your Secretary, Nestor Armenio Jr. Sir, salamat po.